Hi guys, welcome to a sit and chat. Today we're going to talk about things I don't like, and one of them is Alicia Dougherty. Shocker. Here's the thing, I want to share this article with you guys. I think it's really important. I was sent this link on, or not on, but from Facebook several times over the last 12 hours. And I really want to share it with you guys because it really speaks to her taking any opportunity to overshare. And this time she also decided to intertwine how praying for things will get you what you want in life. And I cannot stand when people try to sell that to people. I think it's false. I think that it can lead people down a path of not getting what they want and thinking that they are not worthy or they're not praying enough, and I cannot stand that. And at the end of the video, I want to share with you guys other things that I don't like, but these are going to be like actual items. But number one, I figured that I would share this with you guys. It was posted on this Facebook page. I've never heard of it before, called The Christian Heart. And essentially, it's highlighting Alicia Dougherty, and I have some problems with it. So we're going to go through the article. Now, if y'all are not in the mood to hear about the Dougherty dozen, that's fine. You can skip to this timestamp. I'll put it on the center of the screen, and you can listen to me rant about things that I refuse to spend my money on and things that I have no interest in buying because these products have been pushed so heavily by influencers and YouTubers online. Hopefully I can appease everybody and what they're interested in, but let's just start from the top. It starts out by saying, be careful what you pray for. We went through 9 years of infertility and had at least 11 miscarriages. I want to ask you guys, if anyone in the medical profession is watching this video, I want you guys to educate me about infertility. My understanding on infertility is if you say that you are having infertility, that's a lifelong thing. You're not infertile for a certain period of time and then you become fertile. Tell me if I'm completely wrong on that. It's okay if I am. I just wanted to kind of harvest your all's minds and pick your brains when it comes to the tag of being infertile. It continues by saying, but I kept praying to become a mother. And God certainly answered my prayers, and then some, because now we have 12 children. Hard stop when it comes to praying for children. Here's the thing. Prayer, as I said before, prayer can be a really big instrument that people use in order to help guide themselves through hard times, not so hard times, sad times, trials, tribulations, all the things. But if you're telling people that you prayed for children and now you have all these kids, you are giving them a false sense of hope, because guess what? Sometimes people are just infertile. That's just the way that it goes, and they're infertile for their entire life. And those people shouldn't be thinking, well, maybe I didn't pray enough, and maybe that's why I'm infertile. Maybe that's why I'm not able to give myself a child, because I am not praying enough. I am not following God enough. I am not praying to the Lord often enough. So my punishment is not having a child. I don't like that. I don't like when people say, oh, well, I prayed for this and I got exactly what I wanted. You're giving people false hope. Stop saying that you prayed for children and then you have all of these kids. I think that it is irresponsible to highlight this. And I know that, Christians and people that are really heavily involved in the church, sometimes, not everybody, but I have seen some of them promote prayer as this like way to, quote, get what you want out of life. And if you don't get it, then you're just not ready for it. What about the people who are ready to have kids who aren't going to exploit them? They're in a financial position to care for kids. They're amazing, good-hearted people. And they don't have a kid, so it's God saying that they're not ready to have kids, that pisses me off. It really, really pisses me off. And I don't want to rant too much in this video, but y'all know how I feel about people saying, oh, pray for this, pray for that. Sometimes you just need to lean on medical professionals, doctors, scientists, and allow them to guide you through health-related complications. It continues by saying, when you have a dozen children, life is a little hectic. We do 5 loads of laundry every day. I don't think she does 5 loads of laundry every day. I think she goes to the laundromat once to twice a week based on what I've seen, but sound off in the comments down below. We spend over $1,000 each week on groceries, and we have 4 full-size freezers in our garage to store food. They spend way more than $1,000 a week at the grocery store. We see Alicia constantly dropping $1,500, $1,600 at Wegmans, and she is in a store buying snacks, soda, candy, and food, sometimes 4 or 5 days a week, easily. We recently purchased 12 lockers so the kids have their own space for their coats, backpacks, and other shoes. I've already unpacked the whole locker debacle. I'll link some videos down below if you guys are interested in rewatching those or if you missed them. We need a 15-seat passenger van to go anywhere. You don't actually need that all the time. You need it sometimes if you're taking all the kids, but I've said before, if you care about the environment and you care about, not having to go through all of this fuel when you're just going to Target with one kid, what you could end up doing is buy a small SUV, buy a hybrid car. If you only have a couple kids, there's no reason to take that van everywhere. I've talked about that before. I go to bed at 11 each night and wake up at 4 in the morning to get everything done. We've already gone through her, she, based on what everything that has been unpacked, she doesn't get up at 4 every single morning. She does that to be able to say that she's super mom and she's getting it all done, and she is just this miraculous being who is taking on all the hard kids and getting all of this stuff done, but we've seen otherwise. It's amazing what you can get done if you're on the go for 19 hours each day. What I've seen is Alicia spending a lot of time answering comments and talking to people on the internet and making TikToks. I don't see her being fully present for her children, and that's based off of her own vlogs. Constantly on the phone, everything is tied back to content. What are we going to do next? Need the kids to stand up to do the roll call. Need the kids to participate in this video because Sunny D sent us stuff, Tile sent us stuff, Lysol sent us stuff, Real Good Food sent us stuff. It's a constant production machine. And as I've said before, kids need presents, not money presents. Our days are loud and full of chaos, but they're also meaningful and full of love. Okay. Continuing, she says, we became known as the Dougherty Dozen in a fairly unique way. During the Panini lockdown, we were losing our minds because we were all quarantined together. Imagine all of us in the same house for 24 hours a day for months on end. Since the kids were doing their schoolwork from home and we were forced to upgrade the Wi-Fi in the house to a business account because we were using so much bandwidth. It was getting a little claustrophobic in the house and our nerves were frayed. So I started making silly videos to entertain our family and make them laugh, just for fun. Then I posted a fast motion meal prepping video to TikTok and it went viral. And we became somewhat of a social media sensation. The amount of self-importance with Alicia Dougherty never fails to surprise me. I think it's so cringeworthy. Now we post videos nearly every day on what our life is like. We are real and authentic. Scripted. Everything is scripted. Everything is making sure that the kids are on board with what she wants to do, what she knows her audience wants to watch. It is not just watching a family be a family. It is her orchestrating exactly what she wants the kids to do so that her video will get viewed. We are real and authentic and our lives can be messy. We're just trying to do our best and hoping to inspire others along the way. Alicia's not inspiring anyone because guess what? 95% of people, no, I'll be fair, I'll say 90% of people who are looking to foster, adopt, or anything along the lines, they are not able to spend $1,500 at Wegmans. We've talked about this before. Her promoting flex culture is not feasible. It's not relatable. It's not something that other families can look to her content and say, how are we going to manage this? How should we manage our household? How can we become more organized, less hectic? How can we keep our kids entertained in a really healthy way? None of her content is a way to learn. It's a dumpster fire at this point that is quickly spreading out of control. I get so frustrated when I talk about her, because don't act like you're trying to inspire other people when all of your content is spending money, filling your kids who have very well-known health issues, filling them full of sugar, buying them a bunch of junk that they don't need, not teaching them manners, and all you're doing is blowing money as if it's your full-time job. You're not an advocate, you're not inspirational, and you are nobody that should be even remotely close to a role model or someone to look up to for these other parents. We can certainly see God's hands in every phase of building our family. From the moment my husband and I met, we were both at other colleges and decided to transfer to the same college at the same time and enroll in special education classes. What are the chances? I mean, people meet at college all the time and they're in the same classes, but go off. After a long infertility battle, we decided to build a family through adoption. We adopted a 5-year-old son, and that same week he proclaimed that I had his sister in my tummy. Little did we know that 6 days later we found out that we were finally pregnant. I don't know about the whole infertility thing, guys. Like I said, you know more than I do, so please sound off in the comments, educate me, tell me what you know about infertility. Several months after adopting our first son, we discovered that he had fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Now we get into the oversharing. Alicia's specialty: oversharing medical issues about her children. It's a condition where alcohol passes from a mom to a baby through the umbilical cord. Children with FASD can have poor executive functioning skills and are prone to explosive rage, anger issues, and trouble with transitioning. We had no idea that he had FASD and wondered what we had gotten ourselves into. But we dove headfirst into researching and reading about FASD and tried to figure out how to best meet his needs. Slowly, he began to trust us. We dealt with it through medication, supplements, therapy, and a lot of prayer. At least there, she's saying that, the therapy and medications were combined with prayer. I don't like when people put everything into prayer, because that, again, will give people this false sense of hope that, we can just pray this away. We can pray our way through this. And sometimes, at least in my opinion, prayer is best paired with scientists, doctors, medical professionals who can help you work through these hurdles. We also realized that his behaviors did not faze us as parents. God prepared me for dealing with a child like this early in my life. My brother had bipolar disorder. Having a brother and having an adopted child dealing with similar things is not really the same thing, but either way, it was common for my brother to have explosive outbursts, so I wasn't flustered when our son began doing this. I grew up with this behavior, and I wonder if her brother knows that she has used his story as part of her content too. I assume he does, but I wonder how he feels about that. It continues by saying, and my husband wasn't rattled. He was raised by a single mom who had to work 3 jobs to make ends meet. He is determined to be a great father. He is determined to be the great father that he never had, realizing that we were able to help our son become happy and healthy in spite of his diagnosis. We started to become more and more aware of children in the foster care system that suffered with FASD and were not having successful placements. We were known in the DHR community as the couple that might be open to taking kids with FASD. Throughout the year, we kept getting asked if we could take care of one more child with FASD. So Call it what you want. I call this being a savior, and I think that it is just appalling the ways that she brags about what's supposed to be a really good deed and what most people don't brag about. She not only brags about it, but she also uses it as content to make money. We could have said no since life was finally getting settled, but we always wanted to walk the walk and not talk the talk. The guiding Bible verse for us as a couple is John 14:18, which says, "I will not leave you as orphans, I will come to you." And one of our personal mottos is, there's always room for one more. There's always room for one more with Alicia, because more kids is more storylines and more money. My opinion. All eight of our non-biological children have been affected by FASD to some degree. So she has just highlighted that FASD has affected all of these kids, and because of her oversharing on social media, we know who is a bio child and who is brought in through adoption or fostering. It is despicable that somebody would share this on behalf of kids, and I don't care what anyone has to say about it anymore. Just because you're giving a child a home does not give you the right to go ahead and share their story, period. Some of the children we have adopted have been extreme cases and have been classified by DHR as, quote, unadoptable. Some were placed for adoption with other families, but ended up back in the foster care system because these families were unable to handle their FASD-related behaviors. And what the hell is Alicia doing that is so wonderful? That's what I would like to know. Oversharing the stories, telling everybody that a lot of these kids are having to use adult underwear, shaming the birth parents, putting herself up on a pedestal, filling them with a bunch of junk and sugar and giving them video games, even though their parents were addicts. So what are you doing that is so wonderful? My God. We don't see them that way. We see them, they are all God's children. Our Christian faith is central to how we are raising their kids. Not that it even matters to me personally, but I don't even think that they go to church anymore. So maybe they're doing an online deal. I don't know. And I also want to be very clear, you don't have to go to church to have a strong faith, but it is something that was part of her older content. So I do just wonder, like, what changed? That would be interesting. As an adult, share your adult perspective of, you know, why we go to church, why we don't go to church. Like, talk about yourself for once in your life. We try to teach them kindness, acceptance, and inclusion. Now, as far as kindness goes, her kids are not grateful. They are not thankful. In fact, I find a lot of them to be quite rude and ungrateful. So I don't know what they're like at school, but as far as what we've seen in vlog footage and TikToks, I think that a few of them have smart mouths, and I don't think that Alicia has a hold on how to properly run a household when there's that many kids and she's trying to chase this social media paycheck that she loves so much. We need to look past people's faults and know that everybody needs a friend. Some people don't deserve friends. I'm just going to say it. There are some people in this world who are so hateful and mean, they don't deserve friends, and that's just my opinion. So, if Jesus loved the last of these, then so can we, and a lot of times we ourselves are the last of these. Blah, blah, whatever. I know it's been said that God won't give you more than you can handle, but on those extremely hectic days with 12 kids, he obviously thinks too highly of us as parents. I beg to differ. I don't think that God would like any of his children being exploited for cash online. I don't think that God would want any of his children being used for cash online so that Alicia can go blow money because she has a very unhealthy relationship with shopping. I don't think that God's children should be subjected to addictive chemicals and processed foods and sugar and video games when they already have that gene in them from their parents. I think that these kids should be protected. I think that they should be, they should have their parents present at all times instead of Alicia being buried in her phone. So I don't think that, in my opinion, Alicia and Josh are not going to be getting the gold star for best foster parents, the ones that can handle it all. Up until recently, Alicia herself was still slamming down White Claws. So stop highlighting FASD if you yourself are going to make, quote, jokes about White Claw. I'm going to throw in another creator's video here who talked about Alicia. There are a lot more people over on TikTok talking about Alicia and her problematic presence. So I'll let that clip roll, and then I will share with you guys the products that suck, because we know that this article definitely did.
I think the thing that pisses me off about this whole situation is the fact that just because she adopted these children, people think she's an angel. And a lot of adoptees and people in foster care have stated that the stuff she does is not appropriate and should not be posted. And everyone's like, well, you know, she's giving them a better life and stuff like that. Adopting kids does not automatically make you a good person. And the fact that children who came from the same exact situation are telling y'all that, and y'all are calling them liars or being overdramatic, is mad disgusting. Because first of all, if your children came from abusive backgrounds or abusive homes and stuff, why are you posting them online to see? For millions of people to see and access your child? Because anyone can access it and so can the abusers. So aren't you putting those children in a dangerous situation in the first place? Second of all, the fact that you're putting these children's stories out is not even fucking appropriate. And a lot of the times when you take in children or adopt children, the workers or state don't really tell you what happened. So a lot of times it's hard for me to believe when you're talking shit about these kids' biological parents that you're telling the truth, because foster parents have a huge history of taking in children and manipulating the situation to where the child does not want to go back or lying on the biological parents. And third of all, why is it so hard to believe that this is an unhealthy thing to do to your children, to film them and record all their information and put their personal moments online? One of the children literally threw a tantrum because his biological parents didn't show up. And instead of comforting that child, she decided to film his tantrum and film what he ruined and post it online. Like, that is so disgusting. As, like, when you take in a child, you're supposed to help them, not make content off of their tantrums. Let's forget that they're even adopted. The fact that they're vlogging their children's personal moments and putting their personal business out there is mad fucking sad. There have been so many vlog channels, those TLC families, the ones where they have like 8 children, or even if they're being vlogged in general, that so many of the children or family members have come out saying that they regretted doing all of this because strangers would come up to them and know their full personal name. Strangers would come up to them and know all their personal business. That these children's personal moments that were supposed to be private were posted online or posted on TV for the whole world to see. The fact that we have seen so much proof on how this damages children and families, and the fact that y'all are like, no, this is different or it's not a big deal, when we have repeatedly seen so many times that this has negatively affected children before, is mad ridiculous.
So I will also link that TikTok creators in my description box along with this article in case you guys want to revisit any of it. But Alicia, like, way to broadcast your self-importance yet again. But a lot of people are seeing through her. They're seeing through the gig. They're seeing through the shtick. And I'm glad that a lot more people are talking about her and speaking out about why it's a problem what she's doing. It's not the fact that people don't want any content. They want the kids to be protected. Protect the kids, stop showcasing them, and stop using them as a way to make income. She knows that if she overshares, that the video is going to get more views. So either way, let's run through this list of stuff that I will never buy because influencers have pushed it so heavily on social media. First things first, Bloom supplements. So Bloom is all over TikTok. Basically a green powder where you can, quote, drink your greens. Not interested, not into it. I would rather just take vitamins and eat a balanced diet instead of this weird green liquid that you have to drink that came from a powder. Get a cold pressed green juice. Try to balance your diet and take some supplements if you need them. That is my personal opinion. Not into Bloom. Don't trust it. Don't trust the influencers that push it either. Next is HelloFresh. HelloFresh is, again, all over TikTok, all over Instagram and YouTube. anything that is promoted by that many influencers and none of them ever have a bad thing to say about any of the meals that they've tried, I think it's a red flag. I will just go to the store like a normal person, buy the ingredients, and make it for myself. I'm good. Next are Stanley Cups. So Stanley Cups definitely have a chokehold on some people online. Some people swear it's the best cup ever. You gotta have this cup. Everything is wonderful, whatever. For me, I refuse to spend anything more than $20 on a cup to drink water out of. I think it's absolutely ridiculous and I don't need it. And on top of it, I don't want to be walking around with something that all these influencers promoted. And the last thing for this video is anything Dyson. The Dyson Airwrap, the Dyson hair dryer, Dyson vacuums, all of it, no. It's not for me. Dyson to me has always been a really overpriced company. I just never felt like I could fully, even if I had the money, I never felt like I could fully jump in and feel really good about my purchase. As far as vacuums go, Shark makes really good vacuums. And hair dryers and stuff, I don't even use a hair dryer anymore. I just let my hair air dry. And for a curling iron, I have one that I bought from Ulta 4 years ago and it's still kicking. I think it's a Hot Tools 1.5 inch curling iron and it's been great. So Dyson, Bloom, Olipop, that's another one. They make like this, some kind of soda drink. I see that all over the place. I saw it at Target the other day. I'm like, I don't even want to try this because number one, it doesn't look interesting. And number two, I've already gotten tired of hearing about it from influencers. So I'm good. But leave your stuff down below of stuff that you're not interested in trying because you see it so heavily promoted online. And I'll be really interested to hear about, I want to see like how you guys can educate me and also everyone else in the comments on infertility as far as that being is it a lifelong thing or can you be in it, come out of it, be in it, come out of it? Does it work like that? I don't know. So when I don't know something, I come to you guys and I want you to educate me. But I don't appreciate people saying, oh, we prayed and we were given XYZ. That's just not the way the prayer works. Prayer can go alongside of other things to obtain whatever it is that you're seeking. But don't tell people that you just prayed for something and it was dropped on your lap. I don't like it. I think it's appalling. So either way, new content coming. I'm going to get back to filming in my normal space and all of that, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I know some of y'all don't even care that this video is going up or you're pissed off that I'm talking about Alicia. But either way, as we know, I'm here to talk about what's been on my mind. And that's what's been on my mind. I couldn't believe when I saw those links coming in. And once I read the article, I was like, I got to talk about this right now. But either way, that's going to be it for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.